Alright, welcome back to another session. Last time we managed to figure out how to fix the problem that I was having. Unfortunately, I still don't understand how or why, but I think for now it should be fine. So I'm gonna continue where I last left off. I think we also were able to launch the ball now with the left mouse click, and yeah, and we did that by creating a script in the ball script, I believe. So just a little review, I guess. These values are going to be used to adjust the position of the ball in terms of these values over time, and we do it over here. So I have a feeling that rigid body 2D, like the velocity property for the rigid body, like there's some calculations in the back end or in the background that we don't entirely see, and I guess I just assume that the velocity value, whatever it is, but in this case we assigned it a velocity value using the vector2 object. It just adds these values to the object's position, x and y position, over time. And then this is what I did to solve the issue I was having, where the ball's collider would somehow like the value of the y position is being affected through some sort of way. I'm thinking it has to do something with the rigid body and like the dynamic body type, where the engine is doing all of the calculations. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. Maybe along the lines I'll understand it when I learn more, but it looks like I'm gonna have to take a quiz, so let's see. Let's start this quiz. In Unity, what is the name given to the grouping of assets that we can export or import? A package. Feast your eyes on the image below. From looking at the inspector, what will be the total height of our gameplay window? So we have to look at the size, which is 6. That'd be, so this is when they say size, it's actually referencing to the height of the camera, but not the total height, but rather from the center to one of the sides. So in total, if we set our size to 6, the height would be 12. I'm guessing that's what they're asking. Oh yeah, height, right. Alright, cool. Good job. Which rigid body 2D type will be influenced by gravity and physics forces? And yeah, that was the one I was having issues with, but it'd be the dynamic one. Apples. Everybody knows that apples fall because of gravity. Yeah, it does. Alright, cool. Which of the following is not a valid 2D collider type? So we got a spear, a box. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but I feel like this isn't a valid type. I mean, I guess we did use all three, right? The edge one was used for the paddle, I believe. Or we got a polygon collider. Huh. So I'm not really sure. So let's go take a look. So let's do collider. So we got box collider. Oh, we do have a capsule collider. Then we have circle collider, edge collider. What? I think, oh, spear. Right, so I completely just, I guess my brain thought of it as a circle, but spear isn't even 2D. Wow. Right. Completely didn't see that. What are the two properties of a 2D physics material? I guess collision and rigid body. Oh wait, no. I think it's referencing the materials that we have here, which is bounce. And as you can see, it's friction and bounciness. So let's go choose that. Cool. What is one way in which a trigger volume is different to a collider? Oh, right. The is trigger property. Objects will pass through trigger volumes and not bounce off. I'm thinking that's it. A trigger volume must be placed on a rigid body. Not entirely, because in our loose collider, it doesn't have a rigid body. It just needs to have the collider. Trigger volume must be exactly the same size as the game object it are placed on. I don't think so. Trigger volumes can cause events in our code. No, I don't think so either. Because to do a trigger, you have to have a collider, I think. And it doesn't really need to affect the physics behavior. I mean, this is a collider, it uses a collider, yet we have this trigger property, and we're able to, it's able to not, add any like physics onto any behavior, any object that passes through it. So I think it's this one. Have a squiz at this code. I don't know what that means. Int mouse posts in units is the mouse position x divided by the screen width times the screen width in units. Which of the statements below is not correct? Squiz means look. Oh. Input needs to be spelled with an uppercase I because it is a class. We are missing a semicolon. Not like that would ever happen. Wait. It looks like we are missing a semicolon though. But I guess that's not what they're looking for. The variable type is incorrect. It shouldn't be an integer. It's fine. We must have parentheses around our formula, i.e. everything to the right of the sign. It doesn't matter. So I'm leaning towards these two, but I have no idea. I think they're looking for this one. What? Input needs... Wait, did I read it wrong? What you're saying below is not correct. Input needs to be spelled... Oh, I think I interpreted it wrong. I thought it's saying what's wrong with this. Oh. So I guess that's true. The variable type is incorrect. Shouldn't. That's false. I guess that's true too. You can have it as that. So I think it's this one then. No, the statement is true. We are missing a semicolon. That's true. So I guess it's this, really? Oh, I'm interpreting it incorrectly. Wow. My brain is like, I guess, kind of tired. But I mean, I see what they mean, that this statement is indeed incorrect. Oh, it's saying which statement's incorrect. Input needs to be spelled with uppercase I. That's correct. We are missing a semicolon. That's correct. The variable type is incorrect. It should be an integer. Right, I think ours we did a float. Or, well, I mean, I think we did before. Yeah, I think it's float. Because we're messing with positions. Alright, yeah, I failed on this one. Alright, cool. Which of the following statements will accurately limit our bounce velocity from a minimum of 1 to a maximum of 10? So we did learn the mathf.clamp method, which takes in a value and returns a restriction of this value as long as it's between 1 and 9, because I remember that the max value is exclusive, meaning it excludes the last number, so it only goes up to max minus 1. So this is a good contender. No, we're not assigning. Anyways, clamp is a function, not a variable, so we can't assign a value to it. Bounce height, so we can remove this one. So this might be a good one as well, but oh wait, this is actually pretty good. Actually, no, it's called mathf.clamp, not math. So this is an incorrect function used. So it's either one of these two, but I'm gonna go with this one. We know that the paddle's position is currently 10.0.5. We know that the ball's offset vector from the paddle is 0.51.25. What is the ball's current position? We know that the placement for the ball to be on top of the paddle, it'll be 10.5, and 1.75, since we're adding to it. But for whatever reason, for me, like the y value would be going down for the collider, which caused the loose collider to activate. Which code would we write to access the rigid 2D component of our game object and give it a shove up and to the left? You want it to go up and to the left. So then a positive y value and a negative x value would do that. So it's one of these three. But now let's look. Rigid body 2D, rigid body 2D. We need an angle bracket, so this is out. Component without velocity. It needs this parentheses, so I'm gonna choose this one. Yeah, I think I only missed this one, but I don't know. I feel like it's because I interpreted it wrong, but it's still my fault. So nonetheless, I'll learn. Alright, good. So the next thing we gotta do is playing with space and gravity. Alright, so this is the next challenge. We're just going to be adding walls to our game just to prevent the ball from going too high, wasting a little bit of time for it to come back, and the ball from leaving the screen, because there's nothing on the left or right to prevent it from going overboard. So we just did the left wall, and I assume I can just create a copy of it. But I guess for me to learn, I would need to do it manually. So essentially we would need to create an empty object, and I'll name this the right wall, and yeah, we reset it. We're gonna add a box to the collider, and then he said that the size was 12 because the camera size was 12. So now since we know that the camera size is 8 in the x-axis, 8 in the x-axis, and then 6 on the y-axis in terms of on the center. Let's push this up to 6. So now the value is 6, and it has the bottom part also being the size of 6. So you want to move it towards the end, which is the size of 8, I believe, right? Or 16. Or 16? 0.5, because the height, I guess the size of it is 1 in the x-axis, so putting 0.5, which the other half was currently occupying some screen space, makes it move to the right by that amount, preventing any of the right wall from showing up in the screen, or not showing up, but being part of the screen object, or being part of the screen, so that it doesn't look odd when the ball reaches here. It should be hitting here instead of here because of that extra spacing of the collision. Alright, so we set up the right wall. Now we're going to set up the ceiling, in which we do the same thing. We got to reset it just to get the habit out of it. We create a box collider, and then this is going to be, so the size would be 16 in the x-axis, right? And then we're going to move this towards top, so 6, or it should be 12. And now we're gonna, or 12.5, and then we're gonna move this by 8, and there we go. So let's see how that looks. Oh. So if I hit that, it should bounce to the left. Boing. That's pretty cool. Oh. Alright, cool. So we're done with the challenge. Oh, they called it top wall. Just to be safe, I'm just gonna name it how he does it. So he's kind of going over the idea that the size of the collision doesn't really matter, or I guess in this situation it doesn't, because all we care about is when the ball makes contact with this line here. This volume can be so small that it like just a single line, it still worked the same way. So we're now able to access the world's physics, and I guess we can mess with these values to generate a better, better, I guess, physics that matches to what our game wants to have. So we can make the wait, we have to apply, or is it just like that? I wonder. But by decreasing it to 0, the ball is no longer being affected by gravity. Alright, cool. So yeah, we can change the physics by going to project settings and then physics 2D. I wonder if there's a way to place it in the inspector. Can I just do this? Oh yeah, we can. Cool. So he's gonna choose 0 for the gravity, which does look better in my opinion. Alright, so it's about to be 30 minutes, and I don't think I have enough time to start the next video, but we just finished the lesson about, messing with the world's gravity or physics using the physics 2D. And we made it to 0 because I have a feeling that we really don't want the ball slowing down as it's trying to break the blocks. And I'm just gonna test out some stuff. So how about if we do, let's try to increase the force of the ball going over. Let's add 10 to it. It's probably gonna start spazzing out, or not, or I guess kind of. Whoa. Alright, cool. And then if we do negative 50. Oh, whoa, whoa. Wait, does the mouse? No, the mouse is, the paddle doesn't have a rigid body, so it's not affected by these values here. Alright, cool. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. So I'm catch you guys later. Peace.